Hi guys, welcome to day 8 of the retaining wall project. The crew is on their way here today, but I think it's going to be a pretty light day. They just have a few little things to wrap up over here, a little bit of regrading by the swale and the wall, a downspout I think that needs to be kind of secured into the ground, and a couple other odds and ends and a little bit of cleanup. We're still waiting to hear on the chain link fence quote and just how fast we can get it here. And I believe that is the last piece of the puzzle and this whole project will be done. So I'm excited about that. So what I'm going to do now is just take you around real quick, show you where we are currently sitting on day 8. And then when the crew gets here, per usual, we will get some footage of what they're going to be doing. And then at the end of the day, I'll come back around and show you the progress. As you can see, the dirt pile is gone. And I am thrilled. So I'm standing in the backyard right now. This is where the butterfly garden is, and I wanted to give you a direct view of where the swale is, and you can see it right there. This is where they edged out the grass, and what they did is basically just scooped out a bunch of the dirt to kind of make it into like a little dimple that goes all the way down to the other end of the fence. And what it does is it basically redirects the flow of water into the swale and down through the yard, so the rest of the yard doesn't start to backflow with water and we don't end up with like a swimming pool. And that is where it runs down to, right along to the edge of the fence where the other pop-up drain is. Here we are in the backyard looking at the retaining wall. Here is the little bend, the little Z, and it goes back about 10 feet. And here is the retaining wall going all the way up to the front yard. And everything is pretty much covered in plastic. We were supposed to get rain last night, but I don't think we got anything. But basically all they have to do today, I think, is pretty much just kind of regrade the yard from the back to the front. And I don't know if they're going to seed or sod the grass, but I do know that they are cutting a 1 foot long bed from this point here all the way to the white pillar, and then on the other side of the white pillar in the front yard all the way to the end. And I am going to be planting in the front yard some sky pencil hollies, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. I may continue it later, but I haven't fully decided yet. Now let's go over to the front yard. Here we are standing in the front yard looking all the way back. There is the white pillar by the gate, and they are going to cut a 1 foot wide flower bed all the way down to just where it starts to slope, because as I said, this is where the sky pencil holly are going to go. And then they still have to regrade this whole area, and they're going to use some of the dirt from this big pile over here. They were able to cut out the flower bed yesterday, and I had them cut it to about a foot and a half before the edge of the brick wall. That way, if I decide I want to widen it, I still have room to do so. So they're going to use this dirt to regrade all of this area and part of the backyard. And then whatever is left here, they'll use to regrade and fill the flower bed. On the other side of the house, the other flower bed, they were able to remove all of the grass. So now we just have a big patch of dirt. And so now I'm going to come in here, and I still have to remove like this little layer of mulch and like the landscape fabric, and then just kind of regrade everything and then figure out what and how I want to plant this up. And that's the exciting part for me. Like, I've had this vision in my head of like what that like one bed is going to look like without the grass. But now that the grass is gone, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I can do here. And now like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can put this here and that there. So now I'm just even like more ramped up to get in there and just start planting. But the crew will be here today. And like I said, I think it's going to be a pretty light day. So I'm just going to run around and capture everything that they kind of do, and then come back around and give you guys a quick recap of the progress we made today. All right, guys, here we go. And guess what, guys? The retaining wall project is done. The crew worked a little bit later and got everything wrapped up, and I'm so excited that it's all done. Full disclosure, it has been a few days since they finished, and I kind of wanted to wait a little bit and let everything settle before I walked you around and showed you the final product or the final project. But we ended up getting 2 pretty severe thunderstorms, one of them being yesterday afternoon, and it brought about so much wind that everything in the backyard toppled over. All the plants in their containers flew off the tables and tipped over. There was so much wind and so much rain, and rain we're pretty used to, but the wind was just kind of like a surprise. It came out of nowhere. But anyways, I'm still going to walk you around and just show you where we are at now, because I'm just so excited that it's done. All right, guys, I'm going to start in the back on the patio where our dirt pile used to be. And as you can see, I've started to move some of the plants back over. I still have a whole bunch over here and around the other side of the house that I need to move. But I just wanted to show you the dirt pile is gone and we are starting to bring things back over, and it's starting to look a little bit more put together and normal again. So now I'm going to walk up the patio over here and head to the backyard. Here is our butterfly garden for point of reference. And here is where the swale starts. And you can kind of see the little indent, and then it just kind of travels all the way down, and it gradually makes its way into the middle of the yard. And then it goes all the way down to the fence line here, and the neighbors have a catch drain right over there. So the water just ends up flowing down our yard and then down into their yard and then down into the neighbor's yard, all the way down. And that's how the neighborhood was designed, with a slope. And standing in the backyard, looking straight down the retaining wall, here's our little Z over here, and the wall comes right down to the first post. And the wall goes all the way down to the front yard by the sidewalk. This is a bit of a muddy mess over here. They did regrade, and this is where they added grass seed, and then I came in with land and sea compost to put on top of it because I figured that would help keep the seed in place. But with the amount of water that we had from the storms, that didn't work so well. You can also see right over here where the column starts, they were able to cut like a 8-inch bed for me to kind of plant stuff in. So I'm excited to get this going, but I do kind of sort of want to wait for everything to settle, because it's such loose clay soil right now that every time it rains, it's just kind of like flowing muddy mess. And now we're going to walk to the front, and I can show you the view from the front of the retaining wall. But I wanted to stop here and let you know that all of this yesterday had completely been blown over and into the lawn, all down the sidewalk. I am going to pop up a little bit of footage because I was able to get some with my phone, and I was just kind of like, I hope everything is okay. And we're coming to the front yard to show you the view from the front, and you can see right over here from the front of the retaining wall, this is the front yard now, there's the white pillar, there's our fig tree, and they did cut on this side a flower bed from the edge of that post all the way down to just where it starts to slope in the lawn. And then all of this was regraded and reseeded, and I came in here again and put land and sea over it, but that wasn't enough to keep the seed from washing away. And it washed all the way down and down to the sidewalk. So I am gonna have to come back in here and reseed it a little. But I kind of expected that, because with this soil being so clay heavy, it's kind of hard to keep everything in place once you've had like a bunch of construction and work done. Once you put all the soil back, it kind of needs a few days to stay put. Actually, not a few days. It takes a little bit longer for everything to settle in. So this will be a little bit of a ongoing thing, but here we are standing in front of the retaining wall, looking all the way down, and there we are. It is all done. We are very happy with it, and I think they did a really good job with everything. It's nice and straight. They cleaned everything up back here. All of the weep holes were cut, so they were just almost flush with the wall. And we're really happy with the work that they did. They spent a lot of time. They were pretty meticulous in what they did, and this all is just gonna take a little bit of time to settle in. Here is the flower bed that they cut in for me. It starts right here at the edge of the porch, and it's just one big swoop right to about a foot before the gate starts and where the brick wall ends. And they did come in and regrade everything. And so now it's just nice and leveled, and I can come in here and start planting. I'm so excited about that. And once I get a few plants and shrubs in here, it'll also help with the soil erosion, because being on a downward slope, when it rains, everything likes to kind of flow down the hill. So we do have a little bit of a muddy patch over here, but I can fix that. And now over to the other flower bed. There is no more grass, guys. It is all gone. And so now I get to come in and start planning and planting and regrading this all, because if you can see right back here where the grass line was, this back section, I need to get rid of the mulch and rip out all of the landscape fabric, because I had the fabric in there to help keep the grass at bay. But now that the grass is gone, I can just come in, weed, regrade it a little bit, and start planting. And guys, thank you so much for joining me on this retaining wall project. It was quite a journey. I definitely learned a lot, and I hope you guys did too. I was so impressed by this crew. They came every day in 95-degree weather, 60–70% humidity, and they just worked all day, every day. The company that we used is Structural Repair and Renovations. They are based in Virginia. Our guy Pat is amazing. We have used him many times. If you guys have foundation issues, drainage issues, retaining wall issues, water issues, I highly recommend this company. They did a great job, and we are happy. I'm going to link all of their contact information below in the description box. And yeah, give them a shout if you need them. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.